You ever notice how every creature on this planet just lives? Except us? That's not civilization. That's captivity with extra paperwork. The birds wake up and sing. We wake up and scream into pillows. They get worms. We get bills. And the kicker, we think they're the primitive ones. We've created this whole system where you spend your whole life working to earn a living. As if living was something you had to earn. You're born into this world, you take your first breath, and someone's already keeping track of what you owe. You go to school, get grades so you can get a job, to pay taxes, to pay rent, to buy stuff you don't need, to impress people who aren't paying attention. Then, if you're really lucky, you get to retire and enjoy the last few years of your life with a discount card and back pain. What a deal! And all of it, every little part of it, is built on the idea that you've got to pay to play. You can't just live on the land, you've got to own it. You can't just drink from a stream, you've got to filter and brand it. Even air isn't safe. Someone's probably working on how to meter that next. We've made life so complicated that even fish in aquariums have simpler routines than we do. Then we built cities, giant concrete mazes, and called it urban living. Nothing says freedom like paying rent to stare at another wall 2 feet away. We packed millions of people into boxes stacked on top of each other, and we're surprised everyone's stressed out. And the best part, you still can't make noise past 10 p.m. You're paying thousands of dollars for a cell with rules. That's not housing. That's a polite prison sentence. And what do we do for fun inside our concrete zoo? We go online, stare at screens, and look at pictures of forests we destroyed. Then we say, I need a vacation. So we pay to temporarily escape the system we built, to go lie in some natural place that doesn't charge rent, until we check out and go back to paying again. It's like we're renting freedom by the hour. The animals must be laughing at us. A wolf doesn't need a paycheck to survive. A fox doesn't need permission to hunt. They live by instinct, not invoices. They roam free while we roam the aisles at the grocery store under fluorescent lights, pretending that's the same thing. We've built a world so upside down that being asuccessful often means sitting still for 8 hours a day, staring at a glowing rectangle. Somewhere out there, a bird's building a nest, and it's having a more productive day than most of us. We call it civilization, but the truth is, we've just built a fancy system for charging each other to exist. We think we've evolved past nature, but nature never sent anyone a bill. Maybe the real wild ones aren't the animals. It's us, trapped in our own little boxes, paying for the privilege. We built our own cage, locked ourselves inside, and then bragged about how modern it is. You know, the funniest part of all this is that humans actually pay to exist. Think about that. You're born, you open your eyes, take your first breath, and somewhere, someone's already figuring out how much space you're taking up. From that moment on, your whole life is basically one long invoice. You're paying for food, water, shelter, things that used to come standard with being alive. It's like buying a horse and then being told the legs are a subscription service. Every other creature gets to live for free. Fish swim rent-free. Birds fly rent-free. Even worms. Yeah, worms. You've got it figured out. They eat dirt, sleep in dirt, and somehow owe nobody anything. But we're the only species that needs paperwork just to exist on the planet we were born on. We turned to being alive into a financial plan. You can't even take a nap under a tree without someone yelling, "Hey, that's private property! Private property!" Like the dirt suddenly belongs to somebody. Dirt! The same stuff the dinosaurs were stepping on for free. We've convinced ourselves that money makes the world go round, when in reality it's just us running in circles trying to afford a place to stand. You work to pay rent so you can have a place to sleep, so you can wake up early and work again to pay rent. It's a hamster wheel, only the hamster doesn't get bills in the mail. The hamster just runs because it wants to. We run because the landlord sent a reminder. And we call this progress. We tell ourselves, well, that's just how society works. Society. What a beautiful word for a trap we built and then decorated. We've created a system where if you stop paying, you stop existing comfortably. You can't live off the land because the land's owned. You can't build your own shelter because it's zoned. You can't even collect rainwater in some places because apparently the sky's under new management. We've turned the planet into a giant monopoly board. And most of us are just trying not to land on a pay rent or go to jail. And what do we get in return for all this paying and stressing? We get paper. Little green paper that we trade for other pieces of paper that say we have permission to stay alive another month. If aliens ever showed up and asked how our system works, we'd have to explain, well, see, this tree is free. But if I build a house next to it, I owe a guy downtown a few $1,000s every 30 days. They'd probably get back in their spaceship immediately. Yeah, this species isn't ready. It's funny, though, we invented all this ourselves. Nobody forced us to. The earth never sent us a bill. The sun never said, that's it. No more daylight until you pay up. We created the concept of rent, taxes, fees, and debt all by ourselves. The animals didn't demand it. The trees didn't suggest it. And the ocean certainly didn't approve it. Somewhere along the line, we just decided existing isn't enough. We should owe for it. And here we are, the most intelligent species standing in line to pay for water that falls from the sky, for land that nobody built, for air we all breathe. We call it civilization, but it feels more like a clever scam we all agreed to. Maybe that's the real punchline of human evolution. We went from living freely on Earth to signing contracts for the right to stand on it. We don't own the planet, we're just renting it from the universe, and the rent keeps going up.